What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So I know it's been a while. I know the girls missed me. I'm so sorry. A lot has changed. Clearly I have short hair again. I'm just doing me, just living life. So as you guys know, it is now fall. It is my favorite time of the year. I mean, summer's cool and whatnot, but with Corona, summer was kind of like ass. And it just is what it is at this point. But now it is winter time and it's cozy weather time and it's in the house, sit your ass down time. So I'm happy. It's also still your man's hoodie sweatshirt time. So in like fashion, I got mine on. He been asking for it back. I've been like, avoid the conversation, ladies. When he brings up his hoodie, pretend like you didn't hear him and bring something else up. He won't even notice, okay? So in light of it being fall, in light of it cozy, still your man's sweater weather, I also like fall makeup. I'm not very big on like dark lips or anything like that, but I do, however, like palette. So as you guys can see, I'm a big eyeshadow palette person. I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes. This video was only supposed to be like my top 5 fall palettes, but honey, I just can't pick 5. There's no way I can comfortably pick 5 palettes. So I just picked the ones that I really like. It's not too many from the drugstore. I'm not a bougie bitch, but I do like high-end products. I like drugstore and high-end, but high-end just kind of just gets me. I don't know why. They just colorways, all that. So this is video part 1 of palettes galore go crazy. So I'm just gonna show you guys some of some really good drugstore fall palettes that you guys can get. You can get these at Ulta. You can probably find them at Target. You can probably find them at Walmart. I mean, certain brands you could find, but I definitely wanted to show you guys some good fall drugstore palettes. So with that being said, I'm not going to talk too much, but before we even get into the video, make sure that you subscribe, you hit that bell button to be notified anytime that I post a video. And yeah, let's get into this shit, okay? Because I got a lot of palettes that we got to go over, a lot of them. All right, so like I said, we're going to get into fall palettes. Some of these are new for me, but I just think they just scream fall. It's fall and winter, kind of a combo. You can use them both times. You can use palettes whenever you want to, but these ones specifically speak to me fall. So this is a new one by LA Girl. It is called the Keep It Playful Eye Palette, and this is in the colors Downplay. So these are the colors right there. And I just think this is a really good fall palette because the colors are dark. Can you get in there? The colors are dark, like kind of like nude. It gives you smoky. It gives you really pretty, like kind of like smoky, sultry vibes. When I think of fall, I think of sultry. So that is definitely a palette that I would go for. I have not used it yet, so I will be using it in an upcoming video. A smoky eye is pretty challenging for me, so that's one thing that I think I'm going to challenge myself on with that palette, is to create a really nice sultry eye. So that's definitely one of my first choices. Then, so I kind of cheated a little bit, and I like broke up palettes into groups based on like if they're the same but different colors. So as you guys can see, my next suggestion for fall palettes are the Juvias Place. I don't even know what the name of these are called. I just know they're like small palettes. And I've used these. I actually used these for this look today. I don't know if that video is going up before or after this video, but either way it goes, it's going up. So I definitely used this. I used that gray color all over my lid, and I will list the video down below if you guys have not seen it yet, depending on when I post it, so that you guys can see how I use these palettes. But that's the Taupes palette. This is the Mauves palette. So like mauve pinks. This is the chocolate palette, which I think is perfect for fall. Oops. I think that that's perfect for fall. Chocolate. And these are great year round, but I'm saying fall because I literally created this look using all 4 of these palettes. And the last palette is the Nudes. And I know it doesn't look like fall, but depending on how you mix colors, how you put it together, just kind of like how I did, I followed someone else's tutorial and they use these, and you can really make these fall ready. These are great for traveling. I know, I'm not sure with Corona going on, but I know that this is the time of year where people travel a lot more. People go see family, the holidays, all that good stuff, because it is October, but we are going to be approaching November and December, which is straight peak holiday season. So you just want to, I think these are good for traveling. I think they're good for the season and the occasion. So I'm down with these. I like these. Next, I am going to with the Nudes of New York by Maybelline. This is not new. This is still in the drugstore. This, you can get this at CVS. You can get this at any drugstore. I got mine from Ulta because I literally clearly live in Ulta. But this is this palette. I just think it's really pretty. It's really, really pretty for the fall time. I think that it gives you nice colors. It gives you some pinks and some kind of like mauve colors. It gives you golds. It gives you browns, even some light colors in there. I just think it's really pretty for the fall time, and it's really affordable. So this, I definitely would say, is a great fall time palette. Next, this is pretty new. It's the LA Girl Break Free Eyeshadow Palette. I bought this in the smaller one at the same time. As you can see, the front is kind of like, it's butterflies, it's iridescent. It gives off summer. It gives off summer. But when you open it up, if I can, it gives you summer. But when you open it up, it gives you fall, you know? Like it could be one of those transitional palettes. So you could definitely use this in the summertime with all those popping oranges and yellows and stuff like that. The plastic is like taped to it. I don't feel like taking it off. I have not used it yet. But I'm trying to get in a way where y'all can see. I hope y'all can see it like this. But it's giving like browns and golds and stuff. It's a great transitional palette. So you could use it for both. It doesn't even matter. You could use it for both summer and fall. So that's just a great one to have in the collection overall, just in general. Next, we have the e.l.f. New Classics. This is also an oldie but goodie, and I have used this one before. For this to be e.l.f. and for the price point, see, it's like, when I think of fall palettes, I think of either really orange, really brown, like bronzy, or I think kind of like smoky, sultry, kind of like that kind of vibe. So I think this is great because it gives you a little bit of both. It's not giving you too much orange. It's not giving you too much sultry. It's giving you like the right amount for what you're looking for. So I definitely like this color. First of all, what I liked about this palette was the color story. And if you're an avid palette buyer like myself, I have dozens of palettes. So in order for the palette to really speak to me, I either have to, one, like the color story, or I have to like how it operates. Like I have to see someone use it for me to be like, I never thought I could use it like that. So I definitely like this color story. I'm trying to get up close because my lights are like boom in my face. So I'm trying to make sure you guys can see it. So if I'm all like, look at the colors, just know I'm just trying to get you guys to see it. So yeah. And I know my friends always make fun of me when I'm like putting this back on. Please don't mind my band-aid. I have not changed it yet. Ain't nothing wrong. Just the girls know when you got a nail repair on the way, bandage it up. But anywho, yes. So I like this color story and I like this. And this is really, really good. It blends really well. So the next one is the Utopia Palette. Now, I wanted the smaller version of this. It's by NYX. I'm going to show it to you guys in a second. I just want to open it up. I have not used it, but I first saw this on Ulta's website during quarantine, but a part of me was just like, do I want to buy that? And I wasn't really like, it was a smaller version. And I was like, nah, I'm not going to buy it. But then they came out with a bigger version of it. And look at, guys, I remember we were just talking about color stories. When you want to talk about color stories, This is gorgeous. I know I'm trying to get you, you know, the best way possible without my lights going crazy. Look at that. Look at all the colors that you get. And some of these are pressed pigments. So on the back, it tells you, like in yellow, it'll tell you that those are pressed pigments, and then the other ones are just regular eyeshadows. Look at, let's just take a moment. Look at that. It gives you everything. That green, is that even like, look at that. That's crazy. And like, I was in Ulta just doing my regular, was browsing. Ooh, spit went everywhere. I was doing my regular browsing, and I saw this, and I saw the smaller one that I saw online, and I'm like, do I want the smaller one, or do I just want to bite the bullet and get the bigger one that has the same colors plus some? So I got this one that has the same colors plus some. Like, that green is yelling at me. These two colors right here, that color, that, just where they placed it is how they did the color story, where they placed it, how you can make them work together. This can work for any skin tone. NYX itself does not miss when it comes to colors. So this is the Ultimate Utopia palette. I can't remember what the price was. I'm pretty sure it was in the 20s. So it was pretty affordable, but it was still drugstore. This was at Ulta, and it's still at Ulta. I think it's actually in the queue now. But I just want to show you guys that green that I swatched. That was just a little swatch. So that gives you an idea of the color payoff. Like, that right there is bananas. That's crazy, okay? So this is definitely one that I would recommend. Between this one and this one, I would definitely recommend these two for beginners. Even though this is like, whoa, a beginner would get a little bit kind of overwhelmed by this, but I think it's a good beginner palette because it has so many colors and it has so many options, and it gives a beginner the option of playing around with neutrals and colors and making stories with their eyes and stuff like that. So I really, really like this palette, if you can't tell, because I've spent the longest talking about this damn Ultimate Utopia palette. So my next couple of palettes, of course, are affordable. They are Morphe. I was actually really shocked by how much palettes I didn't have from the drugstore. Of course, I have ColourPop palettes, but I honestly didn't even know what ColourPop palette to pick because they come out with a new palette like every week. So I don't know. I just focused with what I knew and what I've been using. Granted, don't get me wrong, I love ColourPop, and they definitely have, so that's my honorable mention. I don't specifically have a palette from them, but I do recommend, especially if you're a beginner into makeup, you're not big on eyeshadow, you're just trying to learn eyeshadow, ColourPop is also a really good brand to use when it comes to purchasing or buying any type of eyeshadow. The next ones are from Morphe. I talk about Morphe a lot on my channel. I really do like them. I know they're kind of under some scrutiny, but they still have nice products, and I've paid a lot of money for them. So this is the Madison Beer Channel Surfing Artistry palette. This is the collab that they just came out with. This is the palette. Pretty neutral. It's not nothing special. But I like how many mattes there are in it. I like that there's a lot of browns, a lot of pinky tones, some golds, and then that one black shade to deepen up anything that you're doing. So I just like the way, how simple this is. I think sometimes less is more. Like the last palette was a lot. This is kind of, you can look at it and see what you can do. Like I can look at it and I can see that I will put that in my crease. I will put that on my outer V. I might put this on my crease. I might put this on my outer V. I might put these two on the lid, you know? So I just can look at this and see that you can do a lot, and it has a lot of warm tones and warm colors. And I think that's important when you're looking for fall palettes, is warmth. It's all about warmth, all about keeping the girls warm, okay? Sweater off the shoulder, warm on the eyes. That's the motto, okay? So now we have the 18T Truth or Bear eyeshadow palette. They've changed their packaging a little bit. So this is the packaging. Morphe used to be pretty black, and you'll see one of my palettes is like that. But this is the palette. So it's really nudie, but what I notice about this kind of nude fall palette is that there's a lot of purples in here. Like it's a lot of purpley shades. I know we focus on like oranges, browns, pinks, nudes, but I like to see when they include like more purple tones. Like I like these dark purples with that. Like that right there could be an eye look all on its own. This right here could be a look. This right here could be a look. So when you're looking at eyeshadows or when you're shopping for shadows, not just in the fall, but in general, just kind of look at the palette and see, does it speak to you? And what kind of story do you want to tell with your eyes? Their color story is going to help you create a color story on your eyes. So what does this color story say to you? So although this looks kind of like boring and bland and stuff like that, for me, I'm just like, oh, okay, this has some really nice colors that are really pretty and colors that I don't think that I 100% have in my collection. So this is a pretty simple palette, but... And I like the packaging. I like that they changed it to be more of what it's talking about. Like Truth or Bare, it's nude. It's a nude palette. Like I like that part. So I'm down to 2 palettes. One is an oldie but goodie, but this one just came out. It's the 35C Everyday Chic palette. I bought this one just because the colors. This, I would say, is a great palette for both fall and winter. It's a good transitional palette. Just kind of like how the LA Girl one is a good transitional one. This one is a good transitional one too. What I liked about this one, what jumped at me was, of course, the glitters in this color right here, but the greens. So I have a hard time playing with green. I don't know why. It's just not like my go-to. But I think when you pair it with colors like this, like there's a lot of green in this palette. And I wear olive green like it's going out of style all season. So I think I'm just like that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But I just really like this story. And it's just really pretty. And Morphe doesn't miss when it comes to their shadows. This is how it looks. It's very compact. It's a little bit bigger, but you get 35 shades. So a lot of, like, if this was 18 shades, this is 35 shades. So they tell you how many shades you're getting and exactly what it is. So I have not used that one yet. I'm still kind of seeing exactly what I want to do with that. I might save it for winter time because those colors are more winter, but I added this in because I do feel like you can get some good fall colors out of that too. You can get a lot of cool tone fall looks, kind of like what I have going on. You can get that from that. Lastly, I hope I'm not going too fast. I hope I'm not running through these. I felt like I had a lot of palettes, and then when I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh, it wasn't that bad. But my honorable mention, I have the Morphe 35O. So if you're not new to watching makeup tutorials like myself, I've been watching them since I was in college. So the Morphe 35O was kind of like that palette that you had to have in your collection. It was a staple. Everybody had that one when they were at, when they finally put it in Ulta, when Morphe first came to Ulta. That was the first palette that I really, really bought. And it's beautiful. So then they came out with a 3502. So this is the newer one of them. And this is kind of like that, the LA Girl one that I showed you guys. So it's full of reds, oranges, it gives you that black. I feel like every fall makeup tutorial, every fall palette should include that black, because you always want to deepen up, soften, make anything look like smoky. You want to be smoky, okay? So this is it's the sister of the original palette. I was trying to find my original palette, but baby, I have so many palettes. I was just like, girl, I'm not doing it. I can't do it. But this is what it is. I feel like the lighting is better on this side, so you can kind of see the color story a little bit more. But this is the colors. It's a very fall ready, very fall forward. And I know they're all like, you're like, girl, they all look the same, but they're all very, very different. I could do, like, for instance, this could be something, again, and one of those things that you can use like Thanksgiving and stuff. Like, this just reminds me of, like, like leaves, like fall leaves and stuff. So that red, you can do something with that red. That burnt orange, and there's a burnt red. Like, there's some colors, one, I don't have in any of my other palettes. Like, I don't have those types of reds in any of my collection. Of course, I have, like, the matte browns and stuff like that. But even then, as a woman of color, sometimes one brown in one palette may not work the same way that another brown works in another palette. So you just have to play around with makeup and kind of see what you like and what works and what doesn't. And so this one is definitely one that I recommended out of all of my palettes. Of course, I definitely highly recommend that Utopia palette. I like the e.l.f. one. I like all the palettes, obviously, they stood the test of time. You know, I like to return stuff if I don't like it. So if it's still here, I do like it. This is just one that if you're really into fall looks and you're really trying to like create something, or you want just that staple in your collection, I would recommend getting or ordering this one. And it's not even, the price point is very, very affordable. Of course, I have more palettes that I would like to include, but we would be here all day because y'all just don't see my entire collection. But I pulled one newer palettes that were a little bit more up to date, that wouldn't be such a hard time for you guys at home to find, so that you guys can add it to your collection. And I wanted palettes that really jumped at me. Like I said, ColourPop is an honorable mention. That is a brand that spot on have a bunch of really, really pretty palettes. I just personally couldn't find the one for this particular video, but they do have a lot of really, really beautiful palettes. So I definitely would recommend going on their website, of course, and the ones that I just showed you guys. But that's all I have. Shockingly, like I said, I have so much more, but I had to limit it. I had to make it more cut down, so I didn't want you guys to be sitting here all day just talking about palettes. But yeah, so that's all I have. Make sure that you guys like, subscribe, thumbs up this video. Make sure that you guys comment any palettes that you think you want to get from what I just showed you guys. Some palettes that jumped out at you. Even comment a palette that you want to see me do a look with, just because you'd like to see that palette be used in a look. So just leave some comments, interact with me. I'll definitely interact back. I'm also very heavy on my social, so you can follow my Instagram and my Twitter at AmberMMack_. And I'm revamping my website, so I'm not necessarily plugging my website right now because I am doing a major brand revamp. That's kind of why I've been on a hiatus, along with mentally getting myself together. But I kind of want to revamp my brand, make it a little bit more simple, make it a little bit more me. So with that being said, you guys can definitely visit my site. It's sincerelyambermariemack.com. You guys can go look and check out some of the articles I have on there. But please believe that there is a relaunch coming, and you guys can definitely listen to my podcast, More Wine Please with Amber Marie Mack. Oh, it's not, actually, I don't use my middle name. It's just Amber Mack. It's on all podcast platforms. So it's on Spotify. It's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, and there's one more. Google. I'm like, there's one more, girl. I was on it, okay? So all those, you can listen to my podcast, catch up. There's going to be new episodes coming out. If you have any episode suggestions, you can definitely leave that in the comments too. I mean, they're for you, so... Anyways, I think I've talked long enough. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really, really do appreciate it. And I will see you in part 2 palette videos. See you later.